Welcome back to Recap and React with Candace, where I discuss some of my favorite TV shows, films, just anything TV film related that I'm interested in. And today we will be jumping back into Love is Blind season 7, episodes 4 through 6. I know I've been doing them episode by episode, but I got behind, y'all. I got a job. I work a lot of hours. Sometimes it's busy season for me, and I just couldn't keep up with it. So what we're gonna do? We're gonna do episodes 4 through 6, and then I'm hoping that'll get me back on track with episodes 7 through 9 that just dropped today because I'm filming this on Wednesday when it just dropped. So we left off Leo panicking because of Hannah, then told him that she picked oh boy, Nick. So he's just tripping out about this. Too much panicking, too much going on. We got her crying, him just like not even giving her a chance to talk. Like he just all like jittery. I don't know what's going on. I think he's just used to like his money being able to get him what he wants, and this time it's not working, and he don't know what to do about it. She's just confused. He's asking what would she do if he proposed right now. She says she doesn't know if she would say yes, even though just last episode, I believe earlier in last episode, she said she would say yes. So I don't really know. Um, Leo, he just really fighting for her, and he makes it seem like that's his person. We'll get to that part in a little bit. Uh, and he's just asking her to fight for them. She's saying that she just can't handle this right now emotionally, and she needs to just let's regroup tomorrow. And he's like, okay, cool, I'm fine with that. Then we get Bowden and Marissa. She basically saying she wants somebody that like they're not too similar. And that's when I think she's giving us signs that she's probably going to pick Ramses, because her and Bowden have a lot of similarities in that they're both ex-military. They're both into like these fantasy books and different stuff like that. Um, he's very liberal. He talks about feeling like anyone that works 40 hours a week should be able to afford housing, food, and health insurance. Agreed. I mean, it's that simple. We know in America that's not necessarily how it goes, but that's what it should be. And then she uses this as a moment again to bring up her dating a Trump supporter in the past, and it's just like, ma'am, it's not the flex that I guess you feel like it is. Like, I don't know. I don't know why we need to keep bringing that up. Like, just why? She's saying like he was a good guy, but I'm not understand like how those two things go together. You know, it's not like she's just said the guy was a Republican. She said he was a Trump supporter. Those are two very different things. Um, Trump supporter and good guy. I don't see how those intersect. But that's what she said. That's her truth. That's what she's going with. Then we get Tim and Ashley. They had a cute little like painting date. This was the first time, not the first time, but one of the first times that I felt like we did something a little more fun in the vibe. But then it got deep again. He decides to give her this bracelet that his oldest sister gave his young youngest sister, who's the middle child. Um, and both of his sisters have passed, so it was a bracelet that kind of passed through both of them. I felt like this was really heavy, and this was I don't want to tell the man what to do with his things, but I don't think he should have gave this to her that soon. Maybe that's something you get her after you guys are actually like married. Um, I don't know. I just thought this was too soon for that. She was very emotional and stuff. She seemed to be, I guess, okay with it. Like, she it didn't feel, I guess, too soon for her. She seemed flattered about it, I guess. Um, I don't know. It was a lot. It was a lot. Tim is just really heavy, but he's been through a lot of things. It's just like I don't want him like leaning on somebody to work through everything that he's been through in his life. I guess is kind of what I'm worried about a little bit. We get Steven and Monica. That he proposes, she says yes. Nothing much more to say about them two at this point. Ramses and Marissa. She's asking him about a bunch of questions about being like handyman. She's trying to figure out, okay, like I like you, but she, with the conversation, I think he's giving pretty boy vibes a little bit. So she's trying to just make sure, like, okay, can you like help her out around the house? Like, are you kind of handy? Like, are you good with your hands? And he's like basically saying, like, yeah, I can do those things or whatever. So she's like, okay, good. Um, and then we've realized they don't even know each other's ages and birth dates. And I'm like, girl, what y'all been sitting here talking about all this time? Like, you on here to marry somebody. Like, you don't know their birthday or they age, and you this far along in the process. Like, I really, really don't understand what's happening here. So I'm just like, they're so unserious. I don't know, but I do kind of like them together. So I'm gonna give them a pass on that one. Then we get Bowden and Marissa. So this is when she finally lets Bowden know, like, okay, I'm gonna focus on Ramses. I just feel like I got a strong connection with Ramses. And Bowden's cool, He's like, I understand, like Ramses and me, we're close. Like, he's a really good guy. I get it. He takes it well. Hannah goes and talks to Brittany about her conversation with Leo. So this is, I don't know if this was the next day or the same night, but she's basically saying that she thinks he was trying to manipulate her. And he was. He was. So I'm glad that she went and told Brittany, but I don't know if Brittany is going to like really like take it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if she's going to like use that information or if she's just gonna be like, oh well, at least I got my man now. You know what I mean? So we'll see. Well, we do see a little bit later, but you know. So then Leo is talking to Nick and the guys, and I think Leo was trying to be kind of shady and convince Nick that Hannah isn't as sure as she let on. Like he's basically kind of divulging some of the information that him and Hannah talked about. I just don't think that's cool. Like I think like conversations should be private unless she just write out like just lying or telling y'all both the same things or you know what I mean? Like I think that information should be private. Like what you gossiping for and stuff like and I don't know. I just didn't like this. I didn't like that from Leo. Leo just too petty for me cuz even like when Nick had his strong connection with Hannah, he never from what we saw was like going to Leo and like trying to like bait him and this stuff really hardly. I think he maybe did it once, but not to the same degree that Leo's doing now. Because I do think he did like sit at the table when Leo was kind of around and trying to like figure out who else was talking to Hannah or whatever. But yeah, I just didn't like this from Leo at all. So then Leo and Hannah, they finally get to have their second conversation. He apologizes for how he was acting during the night before or whatever. She expresses how she felt embarrassed and ashamed just the way he just was like, just kept going at her and going at her. And I get that. Like, I'm with her on that. Like, he really didn't even hardly let her get a word in. He kept raising his voice and stuff like that. Like, I'm with Hannah on that. Like, that wasn't cool. She lets him know that she just has something more with Nick. And then this one Leo start kind of flipping the script. Cause then he's all like, oh yeah, cause we're just not compatible and like you and Nick are compatible and like Brittany is my person. All of a sudden Brittany's his person when he was just begging Hannah down the night before. You know what I mean? And so now he's saying, like asking Hannah to tell Brittany that the breakup was mutual. And Hannah's like, I'm not gonna do that. That ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm not gonna tell this girl that it was mutual. And I'm with Hannah on that. It's like it's giving manipulative. It's giving like you want to have your cake and eat it too. And I don't like that. And she kept expressing that for her. And I think this might have been their last date, not in this date, but it was like Nick knew what he wanted. He knew who he wanted. He knew what he wanted. And she felt like Leo just didn't know what he wanted, which I feel like in this environment, that is fair when you're dating people for such a short amount of time and having to decide who you would like to be your spouse. Um, so with Hannah, I didn't really like that reasoning because it's to me it shouldn't be about I mean, it should be you want the person that you're with to care about you and want you, but it should also be about what you want in a person, if that makes sense. Like, yeah, you want the person to want you, but like don't just pick them just because they want you, if that makes sense. Like you gotta have some more reasoning behind it. And it's giving I just didn't want to leave here single because I quit my job. That's what it was given for me. And I didn't really like that from Hannah, but I also don't like from Leo. Like I don't like him asking her to go and lie to Brittany just so Brittany won't dump his ass. Like I didn't really like that either. Um, Leo just clearly does not take rejection well. Wasn't really feeling it. So Hannah comes back, and Ashley and Brittany are asking her how it went. She gives them basically the overview of how things went down. And like I said, I think Brittany's just taking this information with a grain of salt. I don't think she's really going to act on the information that she got from Hannah, which I didn't like. Now we get Tim and Alex. He writes her a note for her dad, basically asking for her hand in marriage. And he's getting emotional again. He finally proposes. She says yes. And she's wearing the sister's bracelet when, she's in the pod and he proposes. They were cute or whatever. Then we get Steven and Monica, their reveal. Now, I don't understand. Why were they whispering? Like, I was so confused. They both were whispering. I'm like, y'all the only two people in the room. Like, I don't understand. What are we whispering for? So I was a little confused there. He didn't even get down on one knee like all the other guys. All the other guys got down on one knee and, re-proposed and put the ring on. He just stood there and put it on her finger. I was like, okay. Like, okay. They shared some long, like, deep kisses, so I guess they're attracted enough to each other, it seems. So, yeah, that was Steven and Monica reveal. Then we get Ramses and Marissa, another date. He writes her a note about opening up to her. She says her fear is what if he just stops loving her. That's valid. I mean, especially when y'all meet in an environment like that. I mean, I understand her fears. So then we get Nick and Hannah. He proposes. She says yes. No, I don't have much to say on them. Tim and Alex, we get their reveal. They both seem really, really nervous. But when he walks out there, he's like, I knew it. I knew it. He's like, I knew you was going to be fine or whatever. So I'm glad that, like, he finds her attractive. I couldn't tell if she found him attractive or not. He's not an unattractive man, but, like, I just couldn't tell if she found him attractive or not. It wasn't super clear to me. Tim, he was just so intense. Like, and then he keeps like because I don't want to come off like insensitive because I know he lost his sisters, but it's just like, it seems a little, maybe just a little unhealthy to keep relating her back to his sisters. You know what I mean? Because it's like every time, and that could just be the editing. You know what I mean? And what the producers chose to put into the episodes. But it just seems like he keeps like finding ways to relate her back to his sisters. So I don't know. But they both seem really goofy together. They seem like they had good chemistry. So I'm feeling good about them. I can't remember. He might have been the one that followed her back to her side of the thing, which I was like, that was the first time I seen that happen. They usually just like convene in the middle. But like he went over to her side where her little like reveal door was at. I'm like, okay. Then we get Leo and Brittany. He tells her that he's in love with her. She wrote him a letter basically saying like she feel like second choice. She don't like this shit. She ain't feeling it. She's still hurt about him seeming like he was so deep with Hannah. Um, he says he's still going to tell her he loves her because he knows that she likes hearing it. I didn't like that, but she ate it up. She liked it, but it's like, don't just keep telling me because that's what I want to hear. Like, that don't even sound good. Like, oh, I'm gonna keep telling you because I know that's what you like to hear. Like, no, tell me that because that's how you feel. So I didn't like that. That's how we end episode 4. Episode 5, Leo and Brittany. I thought they were gonna break up the way she wrote that letter, because that letter she was like, seemed like she was standing on business, and she didn't. So he wrote her a letter too. It was some little corny little poem situation, and off of that he proposes. He ain't even like asked the girl to stand up, nothing. Like, he just went into the proposal, and she laying on the couch, I think, with a blanket. You know what I mean? She's like, oh, I feel bad I wasn't even standing up or whatever. But she does say yes. So I guess, they deserve each other. And then we get Nick and Hannah reveal. She looks confused when she sees him because he did play it up, talking about he looked like Travis Kelce and all this stuff. And Hannah just looking like, huh? Like, she thought he was going to be taller because he made it seem like he maybe was taller, and he's not. And he notices that she seems to be like his height or maybe a little taller with her heels on. So, I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get why he lied because the person gonna see you eventually. Um, I think definitely he's more into her than she is into him. I think she did like his personality and stuff, but just like physically, I don't think she really into him like that. And then I think Nick maybe played up his persona a little bit. I don't know if Nick really be getting women like that. You know what I mean? And so I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. But they seem okay. But Hannah did. It seemed like in her little confessional or whatever, it seemed like she felt a little catfished, and I don't blame her. I don't blame her. So then we get Ramses and Marissa. They're both getting emotional. They express like how they appreciate each other. This is on a date. He proposes. She says yes. So then we get Leo and Brittany reveal. They are the most judgmental pairing. I can already tell. She sees him. She's not attracted to this man. She is not attracted to this man, and it's so bad that even though she know he got money, I don't think she gonna be able to stick around. So he keeps telling her that he loves her, and she ain't saying it back. So I'm just like, I see what's happening here. I see what's happening here, Brittany. I just don't think she's feeling him at all. He finds her attractive, but I don't think she finds him attractive. Honestly, I don't think any of the guys just kind of looking at the lineup. I don't know. I would have to look at the full cast again, but the ones that they showed on the show, I don't think any of them were her type anyway. So I don't know if she would have found anybody. So then we got Ramses and Marissa. They're revealed they're both giddy. They both find each other attractive. They just real goofy together. I really love their reveal. It seemed real genuine. It seemed the most down to earth, the most realistic. I was really feeling their reveal because we didn't really get to see a lot of their interaction in the pods for whatever reason. They didn't really show us a lot of them. But their reveal, I felt like they maybe had the most chemistry. Then to the point that they forgot about the ring altogether. And he was like, "Oh shoot, I gotta give you your ring." They were just so locked in with each other, and so I really like that. They were really goofy. I love their chemistry. So that's our last reveal. So in terms of my rankings, I'm gonna give y'all my rankings before they get to Mexico. This is what I think. I guess my rankings in terms of like how solid the couples are, right? So number one, I have Ashley Tyler. Number two, I have Garrett and Taylor. Number three, Ramses and Marissa. Four, Steven and Monica. Five, Tim and Alex. Six, Nick and Hannah. And seven, Leo and Brittany. And Leo and Brittany didn't even make it to Mexico. Now, like, because I typed this up as I was watching the episode. So now I know number seven was the right spot for them, anyways. So yeah, Ashley and Tyler, they're talking about like being celibate and stuff. And I don't remember how long they were celibate. But yeah, they both have been celibate for a while. So, it should be interesting what they do on the first night. Then we get Nick and Hannah. They're still kind of awkward. He wants to keep whatever they do sexually private, which I respect that. Later on in the episode, we see that Hannah doesn't respect that. But to each their own. We get Tim and Alex. They joke about her having bad eyesight. We get a little rant to Marissa. Basically, we kind of get a little clips from each of the little couples before we get into some other things. So then we get Ashley and Tyler. They're by the pool and they have really good chemistry. Um, they definitely have sexual chemistry. So they're like just in the pool, chilling and just talking, like that little scene with them. Alex and Tim, I don't know what this like, and I don't know, maybe I wasn't fully paying attention, but this dog thing they keep talking about, I was confused because now I was like, wait, because he was like singing Atomic Dog a little bit. I was like, wait, is he like a Q or something? But then he was like, he didn't finish college or he didn't go to college. So then I was just like, so what is going on here? What is this dog thing they keep talking about? Like, did I miss something? If I missed something, y'all let me know in the comments because I was confused. Nick and Hannah, they're goofy in the worst way. You could just tell the two of them. I don't know. I don't know. I don't really. I'm at a loss of words with this couple. Hannah definitely feels catfished. It's just awkward. I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen there. Uh, they're definitely not solid, and I had them. ranked last in terms of the couples that actually went to Mexico. So, you know, I already saw this kind of coming. Tyler and Ashley, we see them pray together before bed. I like that. Garrett and Taylor, they have amazing chemistry, loving how they're, how they're cozying up and stuff together. Ramses and Marissa, we find out pretty clear that they definitely smashed the first night, which nothing wrong with that. As long as y'all both consent to it, it is what it is. Do what you got to do. Hannah and Nick, they are okay. So this is the whole because this spills in episode 6. This is Hannah and Nick. They're hanging out by I don't know. It's like on the beach or something. And Nick sees these little like swan things that you can get on, and you like scoop on them or whatever. And he's like, I want to ride the swan thing. Hannah's like, I don't ride the swan thing. That's gonna give me the ick if you ride the swan thing. And he's like, but I want to ride it. He's like, I'm gonna go ride it anyway. And so he gets up to get on the swan thing, and this lady comes over and like, oh, and he's like, oh, you want to ride with me? And so they both get on their own. They're like racing or whatever. So the lady does make a little comment to myself, oh, she jealous. Is your girl jealous or something? We'll get to Hannah and how she relayed this to the one of her friends, how she related to Marissa. Um, but yeah, it was just like I don't think he really did too much wrong at first. Now, when they got done, that lady was trying to cozy up with him, and I'm with Hannah on that. Like he should have shut that down, but he didn't. But he should have. So I'm with Hannah on that. That woman was getting a little too cozy with her man. So then we get episode 6. We get kind of like catch up with some of the couples in the morning. Ramses and Marissa, they look good together. I really thought Ashley and Tyler were cute. And then Garrett and Taylor, they just seem comfortable. Like they have just great physical chemistry, not even just sexual, but just like they feel comfortable with each other, which is important in a relationship, especially in a marriage. So I like where those groups are headed. Then we get Garrett and Taylor. Taylor wants to make sure that there are actions behind his words. She's like, you said a lot of good things in the pod. You've been saying a lot of good things to me. I just want to make sure when we get in the real world, we get back to DC, that your actions show me what you're saying with your words. And he's like, no, I understand that. And they both say they have a lot of work on because of like how goal and career driven they both are, how they're going to mend their lives together. So they do feel like they have a lot of work to do to get to the point where they feel comfortable marrying each other based on that. And so, but they still feel confident that they'll get married at the end of this. So I liked that from both of them being realistic about it. We get, look at my notes. Ramses and Marissa, they're having tacos. She's excited about their physical connection. Well, both of them are. But they also feel like they have a good like emotional connection and stuff. I like them together. Cute little taco date. Then we get Ashley and Tyler. They're doing a cooking class. They have matching sneakers, I believe, which is right up my alley. A reformed sneakerhead. Like I ain't like really deep in it like I used to be. My husband like definitely is in it. Um, but yeah, I thought that was cute how they had matching shoes. I don't know if they were the exact same dunks, but they looked really, really similar. So then Tyler said it's basically like, I wasn't, if you ask around about me, I wasn't the nicest to women in the past when I would like go on dates with them and stuff. And he basically trying to tell like, but you're different. Da, 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 da. I don't like that. I just don't like that. Like, oh yeah, I just wasn't nice to you, but like no, I don't like that. Um, I don't like it. Ashley, she's basically saying that she's sure about them, and she's like she doesn't want to let anyone get it. Like she wants to protect their bubble, which is like if you're sure, you're sure. Now I have seen some of the rumors about Tyler. I'm not trying to dig too deep into that because I don't want to be spoiled with stuff that might be happening in the next batch of episodes. Y'all don't please don't spoil it for me. But I've been seeing like stuff pop up on social media, and I ain't been clicking on it, but I get the gist of what maybe will happen to them, which is unfortunate, but we'll see. Then we get Alex, Tim. There you go to some little local shops to go shopping. I don't know how I feel about Alex because I feel like she's like mean to Tim, but then she tries to like excuse it by saying like she just likes messing with him, like it's just joking. But it's like, you don't gotta like knock the man like, it's just like anytime he says something, it's like she clowning him. You know what I mean? It's fine to clown like your significant other, but you don't gotta like do it all the time. Like she talking about the man outfits, in the last episode she was like saying some stuff. It was just like, girl, like you don't gotta keep clowning this man. And then she also basically they have a little talk about dirty versus messy and stuff. Like, can't be leaving no dishes and doing all that stuff around now. And then she like, well, sometimes I might try on a bunch of outfits and then just leave the clothes in the floor. And he like, well, at least put them in a pile in the corner. Don't just leave it on the floor or whatever. So yeah, they kind of talk about that, which I understand that. Then we get but he's ex-military too, I think. So it's like not, he's used to just being clean. You know what I mean? Like, so it's just different. It's a different, just what they're used to is a little different there. So then Alex is saying like regardless, she's gonna need an okay from her dad in order to move forward with him, which is fair. Um, I wouldn't say like I necessarily need the okay for my dad to move forward with my husband, but if like my parents just really told me like if I trust them enough I would took their opinion into consideration. Like, but give me some clear like examples and reasons why you don't like him first. You know what I mean? Don't just like be one of them dads that like ain't no man gonna be good enough for my daughter. You know what I mean? So if it's a case where it's like her dad has real like reasons to back up not liking him, if that's the case, then okay. Um, Monica and Steven, they do spa acupuncture thing. I'm not really afraid of needles, but when she was putting that one in his head, I'm just like, I had to close my eyes. I can't look at that. I was like, this too much. Um, I can tell she's not really that physically attracted to this man, but she likes his personality, so she, it's making him a little more attracted to her. But she definitely not really physically attracted to him all the way like that. I don't think she thinks he's ugly because I don't think she would have like went through this far if she thought the man was ugly. But I don't think she's really that attracted to him. He liked seeing her in her. He's like basically saying, I like seeing you with like no makeup on and stuff, and like with your hair wrapped, all that stuff on and stuff. And I was like, okay, that's sweet, kind of, but don't make it seem like that's what you want all the time, if that makes sense. Like, don't try to dictate how she decides to like dress and wear her hair and her makeup and stuff like that. That's all. I just don't want us to go down that road with them too. All right, so now we're getting into the pool party. So Hannah clearly missed the memo with the dress code. She got on some kind of little like short overall thing. It don't really fit her body type. Like, not like that. I'm saying it just something don't I don't know. It's not super flattering, I guess. But she has a bikini on under it. Um but you just see all the couples coming in. Most of the women wore dresses. I think what's her face? Marissa wore like denim shorts and like a cute top or whatever. We get Steven going on and on about something about Garrett looking like a middle class Chris Evans. I didn't know if it was meant to be like a dig or a compliment, because the middle class thing, I didn't know what he was trying to say there. The man definitely don't like Chris Evans though. He don't like Chris Evans. I don't think Garrett's ugly, but he ain't no Chris Evans. So I was a little confused where we were going with that. Nick doesn't want to talk about sex on camera, and Hannah feels kind of a way about that. But I mean, if the man don't want to talk about his like sexual life, like his sex life on camera, like you need to respect your partner's wishes. And why is it a big deal whether you talk about it on camera or not? Like, why does America need to know? I don't understand. So then Hannah tells Marissa about the swan thing, but then she throws in saying the girl called her a jealous bitch. And it's like, unless we missed something, that lady did not call her a bitch. So I was just like, whoa, where are we going with this? Um, I was just like, we just revising what really, like, what is it? Revisionist history. That's not what happened, Hannah, but okay. But he did get a little too chummy with the lady. I didn't like that. So, yeah, I'm with her on that part. Tyler, he's already locked in, saying he's for sure getting married to Ashley, which we already knew that he was locked in. Taylor claims that she hasn't had sex with Gary yet, but I could have swore they like insinuate that they had sex already. I could be wrong, but she's saying they ain't had sex. Ashley feels super locked in and doesn't think that Tyler would do anything to mess up what they have. Now, knowing the rumors that's going around, the little articles on social media and stuff, Tyler might have messed it up, but we'll see. Nick tells the guys about the Swan story, basically like what happened with the Swan and the lady and stuff, his side of things. And then he says that Hannah had this list that he found like sitting on the nightstand or something. It was basically like 10 things that she wasn't sure about with him. And I was just like, okay, this is getting a little messy. And why does she need to like write it down on a list? Do they not have they should have their phone backs by now, right? Like, I don't know. That was just a little weird. So then Marissa and Ramses have great sexual chemistry. They're like all over each other, kind of at the little pool party. Love them. The ladies start kind of grilling the guys. I didn't write all of them down, but what stood out with Tyler and Ramses is they asked them, because they were sort of to ask the guys like, oh, what's your favorite quality in your woman that you are engaged to, your fiance. Tyler and Ramses, both of their favorite qualities had to do with them. So it was just like what they do for them. It wasn't like, I don't know. And maybe it was because the question was quality instead of characteristic. I don't know. But it was just like Tyler was like, oh, she makes me feel safe. And Ramses was just like, she holds my vulnerability. And it's just like, so your favorite quality is how they cater to you. It's not like, I don't know, like something else, like something that has to do more with them. I don't know. That just was red flag to me, just to me. But that's just me. So then Tim says that he likes that Alex can go toe to toe with him. See, so I like something like that. That answer. He's like, I'm kind of dominant. I need a dominant woman. I need a woman that's like gonna go right back at me. And I was like, okay, I like that answer. But like with Tyler and Ramses, it was just like both of their answers just had to do with what their woman does for them, and not a quality like specifically about them. If you guys get what I'm trying to say. So yeah. Anyways, Nick brings up the bullet points thing to Hannah. We find out that the last bullet point was calling him delusional, and he was like, so you think I'm delusional? And then she just kind of like walked off about, or I don't remember. She didn't really give an answer or something. One of them walked off, whatever. So then Ramses and Marissa, they get back because now the party's over. They get back and they're kind of debriefing. They think that Ashley Tyler and Garrett Taylor are for sure going to get married. And they think they're going to get married too. So those are the three out of all the couples that they feel like are definitely getting married. And I agree. Right. As of right now, well, if we ignore social media, ignore what we're seeing on social media about Tyler, excuse me, what we're seeing about Tyler on social media, let's ignore that. I definitely think that Ashley and Tyler will get married. So I don't know if she gets privy to that information while filming the show or if that just happens later. But assuming she's not privy to the information, that I think they'll get married. So then Steven and Monica, they debrief, and then she starts getting like frustrated with him, I guess saying like she can't get a word in edgewise, like, or like she just can't get a word in with him. He's like talking so much that she can't get a word in. It's frustrating. But then she does all that and he stops talking and she doesn't say anything. So it's like, girl, you fought me to get a word in and I'm giving you space to talk and you're not saying anything. Like, what am I supposed to do with this? So I was a little confused there. Um, and then she says that she felt something weird going on between Alex and Tim. So we'll kind of see what happens there. And then we get Hannah and what's his face? What's the guy name? Hannah and Nick. So she's basically going through her list a little bit. We only get through like the first few things. So one was action speaks louder than words. She was making sure that he respects her was one, and then the third one was social awareness, read the room, and then that's when she goes into the whole thing with the lady and the swans or whatever. I feel like we dragging this a little bit. Now he was a little too friendly with the lady at the end, like when they got done with the little swan race. But like, girl, I don't know. Like I didn't think the woman was like super rude in what she said. Like she said the jealous thing. Like maybe she shouldn't have said it, but like, and maybe he should have like been like, she's not jealous, or like checked it a little bit. But like I do feel her on when it did seem like they were getting a little too friendly. Um, so then he ends that conversation basically saying, "Well, I'm not the only one that's delusional or something." I'm like, "Okay, here we go, these two." Then we get Tim and Alex the next day. Apparently, they had a blow up. He didn't even sleep in the same room as her. They I think they were going back and forth. I think she got kind of in his face and she physically covered his mouth to stop him from talking. He feels like that crossed the line for sure. Um, and I think it seemed like she must have called him out his name. So I wonder, did she call him a bitch? Like I don't know, but I'm that's what I'm thinking must have happened. So yeah, he's like he came into to have this conversation with her, thinking this was gonna be the last conversation they ever had. He's still got to figure out like if he thinks like she is who he wants to marry or not, which is totally fair. I didn't feel like she was very apologetic. And even when she apologized, she was like, I apologize for my part in it. I hate when people do give like vague ass apologies. Like, don't give me no vague apology. You need to tell me what you apologize for. Be specific because I need to know that you understand where I'm coming from. I need to know that you're not just apologizing just to like dead the situation. No, we don't be vague. Be very specific about what you're apologizing for. And I don't think she did that. So that leads me to believe she doesn't think she did anything wrong. You know what I mean? Because when you give like the really vague apologies like that, I feel like you're trying to like just pacify the situation instead of like being more specific to show that you understand where you went wrong. Um, so yeah, that's where I stand on that. My new rankings. Let's see. Now that I guess we're leaving Mexico. My new rankings for the six, just off of what we've seen, I would put Ramses Marissa number one, Ashley and Tyler two. Now this is what we've seen, ignoring social media stuff. Um, Garrett Taylor three, Steve and Monica four. I might move Nick and Hannah up to five and put. No, I'm gonna keep. Okay, I'm gonna keep Tim and Alex at five and Nick and Hannah six. So Ramses Marissa, Ashley Tyler, Garrett Taylor, Stephen Monica, Tim Alex, and then Nick and Hannah. Even though I could see Nick and Hannah just getting married just to get married. Like they seem like petty, like they seem like they would make a rash decision like that. But yeah, so that's where I stand. That's it. We wrapped up episode six. Next episode, I'm gonna try to do episode by episode, but I don't know because I got a work trip coming up, so I only got a few days to get these next few episodes out. So we'll see. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I will talk to you guys next time. Bye.